So I know I said that the last chapter was going to be the last chapter, but I got a lot of feedback that people wanted me to make my headcanon of what happens to Tori and Hieronymus after they head off actually become canon, so I added one more chapter in. So I hope you enjoy it. Come on, Hieronymus. Hieronymus seems to be having trouble keeping up with me. I keep hearing him cough behind me, and we have to keep pausing to rest. I know I shouldn't push him, but I never thought our age gap would ever become this apparent. You know I can't keep up with you, he says, his voice gentle but firm. I think you should go back, Tori. Look at you. You're as young as the day I first met you. I just shake my head back and forth. Not true at all. I'm old now, too. We're old together. Hieronymus just pauses as he looks up at the sky, but I don't know what he's expecting to see. I don't know how much longer I can keep walking. We had been making our way through one of the other world's barren landscapes for quite a while now, just walking. The orange sky overhead never changed, and the purple grass under our feet was thin and wispy, revealing reddish-brown sand below. I liked walking, but I knew that Hieronymus was too old to go on long walks like we used to. If anything, I thought that we would have just rented a boat and just stayed out on the high seas until life eventually ran away from us. But no, this had been Hieronymus's idea. He's the one who suggested we head out on this trek. Part of me felt like we were supposed to be looking for something, but I wasn't sure what we were looking for. What if I carried you? I asked suddenly, levitating Hieronymus only a foot off the ground. There's plenty of mana here for me to draw from. You can just float along beside me. Put me down, Tori, Hieronymus says with a sigh. I think this is about it for me. What? No. I immediately rush over to his side, supporting his shoulder. Already? We've only been gone a few days. It's been weeks, Tori, he says with a tight smile, and I do appreciate you caring for me, but I think my time is done. No, it's not, I say firmly, although I can feel tears forming in my eyes. You can't just leave me, Hieronymus. We do everything together, remember? You need to go back, he says gently. Think of the children. They're not children anymore, I remind him. They're adults. They can take care of themselves now. And what am I supposed to do? Just go back without you and say I left you dead in the other world somewhere? Hieronymus just shakes his head like he doesn't know what to say. Neither do I. Wherever we go together, I tell him firmly. Let's just rest now, okay? I put my hand on the ground, feeling the vibrations of the earth moving underneath my fingertips. I close my eyes as I visualize each rock in the ground and slowly pull them upwards, freeing them from the dense earth. I use my magic to make a small stone structure to house us for the night and reshape a large boulder to make a flat stone for Hieronymus to lie on. I pull a few blankets out of my backpack and lay them down, trying to make it as comfortable as possible as I help Hieronymus down onto it. You rest, I tell him. I'll make us something to eat, and then I'll use blue magic to make you think you're in a nice, comfy bed. I pull some seeds out of my backpack and sprinkle them along the ground. I close my eyes and use green magic to give them life. I can feel roots breaking free of their seeds, slowly sucking nutrients from the earth. I can feel the stalks grow. Green leaves emerge, and their buds slowly begin to form fruit. I pluck a few origins and then bring them back to Hieronymus. I don't know how I didn't notice it before, but he doesn't look well. His face is pale, and there are beads of sweat clinging to his forehead. Are you too hot? I ask him. The other world was always temperate, but I quickly swirl a gust of air through the little stone hut to try to cool him down. I'm fine, Tori, he says, but his voice suddenly sounds weak to me, as if it took too much effort just to speak. Here, eat something, I tell him. I'll get you some water. I put the origins down beside him and head outside to suck the droplets out of the foliage I had just created. I sense a presence nearby before I see the shadow of a person beside the hut. I immediately cast a spell to strike them down, only to find that the spell fizzles out in my hands. Your magic has gotten a lot stronger since the last time I saw you, Tori. The figure steps out from around the side of the hut, and my jaw drops as I see Jason approaching me. Jason? I demand. I thought you were dead. No one has heard from you in decades. Everyone thought you were dead. Not quite, Jason replies with a faint chuckle. But how have you been, Tori? That was some magic you just performed. I'm impressed. We both pause as Hieronymous appears in the doorway. It looks like it takes him considerable effort just to stand. How's it going, Grabs? Jason asks him. Oof, it looks like you've seen better days. What are you doing here? Hieronymous demands. And why does it look like you haven't aged a day since we last saw you? That's a good point, Jason says as if he's only stopping to consider this for himself. He snaps his fingers and Hieronymous flinches. I start to take a step towards him before my brain suddenly floods with memories and I slump to my knees. I look back up at Jason as our last encounter replays through my mind. Wait a minute. You're not Jason. That night, you wanted me to go with you. I said no, and then you had us forget? I had you forget, but I've been popping in every now and again, Jason admits. Watching your life play out has been entertaining for me, in a way. I'm really impressed with the way you managed to turn the Grabiner name around, Tori. I think you single-handedly changed magical history. The Grabiner name is going to live on for centuries, thanks to you. I just gape at him. Did he know that for sure? Or was he just trying to flatter me? So why are you here now? Hieronymous asks. He's holding on to the stone door frame as though it might give out beneath him, and I quickly rush over to support him. To make the same offer that I made you all those years ago, Jason says. So, what'd you say? Did you change your mind? I just shake my head. No. Tori, Hieronymous sounds annoyed, but I just shake my head again. From the looks of things, Hieronymous isn't going to wake up tomorrow morning, Jason says quietly, and my whole body stiffens. I knew this day was coming. I knew this day was coming for a long, long time, but it still hits me like a slap to the face. No, I insist, shaking my head back and forth quickly. No, Hieronymous is fine. Tori, Hieronymous says softly. I look over at him, and he reaches down to kiss me gently, cupping my face in one hand. All I have ever wanted to do was spend the rest of my life with you, and I got to do that. I'm happy, Tori. It's okay. You can let me go. No! The tears start for real now as I clutch onto him like a life raft. No, Hieronymous, no. You can't just... Jason lets out a loud cough from behind us, and I quickly wipe at my face with my sleeve. I think I should clarify something, Jason says quickly. This offer isn't just for Tori. It's for both of you. Tori is extremely gifted, but she has benefited greatly from your wisdom and counsel, Hieronymous. I think it's clear to everyone that you two are a package deal. Hieronymous stiffens. What are you trying to say? The offer is for both of you, Jason replies. So, what'd you say, Grabby? Do you want to give death the slip and spend another few lifetimes with Tori here? Hieronymous glances at me, and I let the ghost of a smile pull at the corners of my lips. I stand up and hold out my hand, slowly pulling him to his feet. Together then? I ask, and Hieronymous smiles. Always. We clasp hands and then reach out to take Jason's outstretched hand as we teleport away, off on our next adventure. And that's the end. Thank you so much for listening and reading the story. And the first chapter of the part 4, the prequel, will be up tomorrow. Thanks again and have a great rest of your day. Cheers.